Hey everyone, I'm Nick DiMatteo, and welcome to week 189 and video episode number 15 of 4T, the Thursday throwback track. Every week I take a release from my collection, I discuss it, I give you my take on it, I throw in some other shit, and I talk about how it has influenced my music. And draw parallels to all that in an effort to create connection and conversation and within the realm of music, my favorite thing in the world. This week, one of my all-time favorite bands and a band that has influenced me more than most others. Even if you don't know this song, you probably know the voice of Gordon Gano and Violent Femmes, and in particular their second, third, and fourth albums, because as history would have it, that was when I was buying vinyl. So that's all I have on vinyl of theirs. Hallowed Ground, The Blind Leading the Naked, and their fourth album, 3. It goes like that, I think, yes. If you've been following along this week, the theme of the week, which is very odd for me, is country music. I don't know a whole lot about country music. I don't claim to be a huge fan of it in most cases. As I've said, I love all kinds of music, especially music that happens to resonate with me. So some country music has resonated with me. But the reason why this week's theme is country music is because I have a gig coming up in a couple of days. A band that I've played with for years, who normally does either Beatles songs or 1980s songs or jazz stuff, has been asked to come back for this annual gig we have and do the client's theme this year of country music. So I had to learn a whole hell of a lot of songs that I'd say out of the 30 that we're doing, I knew maybe 8 of them, which is not a very high percentage for me. As fun as everything, though, and there's some great songs there, songs that I hadn't heard before that I thought, oh wow, this is actually really damn good. Well, just so happens coincidentally that last week I had been, reintroducing myself to the Femmes. I think a song of theirs popped into my head, a conversation I was having with Catherine, and it reminded me that they released an album recently, which is awesome, as always. And so I started re-listening to their back catalog, from beginning to end chronologically, as I like to do. And when time came for me to pick an album for this week's Thursday Throwback track, it made sense on more than one level for me to choose the Femmes. Not just because I love them and I have their stuff and they've influenced me and I was listening to them, but because they link very closely to country music. In fact, this song in particular that we're listening to is called Country Death Song. It's the first song off their second album, Hallowed Ground, which has a lot of country tinge stuff. These 3 albums in particular do, and all of their subsequent albums have some type of music like that. Those of you who know the Femmes, anybody who knows them, probably knows their songs, Blister in the Sun, Add It Up, Kiss Off, Gone Daddy Gone, which, Gnarls Barkley covered a few years ago, which I just found out the Femmes then turned around and covered a Gnarls Barkley song, Crazy. They think I'm crazy, that one. So, and the Femmes did a version of that. Look it up, it's pretty cool. That album was a blast of acoustic folk punk that started to reshape the landscape of punk into post-punk in the 80s in a way that really hadn't been done before. But if that's all you know about the Femmes, then you might not know these 3 things. One is their highest charting single was actually from their 5th album, Why Do Birds Sing, from 1991. It was a song called American Music, which I used to cover in my acoustic shows all the time back in the 90s. That album, Why Do Birds Sing, also has an awesome cover of Culture Club's Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? Look it up. Gordon tends to pick some pretty cool tunes to cover on most of the albums there. The other thing you might not know about the Femmes is something I kind of told you earlier, which is they're still around. They released an album a few months ago that sounds a whole hell of a lot like everything that they've done, but in particular their earlier stuff. It has shades of everything, all their different eras and stuff like that. That's called Hotel Last Resort. Look that up too. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere. And the third thing you probably don't know about Femmes is that they did a lot of country music, not just folk punk. These albums, these three albums that I have here in particular, have a lot of country music. This was one of my favorite songs too. I Hear the Rain. Give me a break. You could call what they did alt country before there was even such a thing. Southern Gothic, especially a song like this. Freak folk before there was freak folk. Country rock or folk rock, folk punk. The point is, it's not just acoustic punk. They Gordon in particular, but they were immersed in country tinged music and straight up country music in many ways. In fact, on The Blind Leading the Naked, there are songs like Cold Canyon, Breaking Hearts, a couple more that are just straight up country music. There are others like Jesus Walking on the Water, Old Mother Reagan, yeah, it's about Ronald Reagan, a song called Fat, a song called Lies, all of it straight up country music. So, I'm here making the case that there's more than one reason why I chose the Femmes this week, and I'm trying to make all these links to country music because I don't myself have many links to them. Other than the fact that I did a country EP, piano student's father, who was a producer, asked me to jump in on that, and I wrote a couple of songs and sang and played and blah blah blah. And right around that same time, my dad did a country EP, which I posted about on Tuesday for New Music Tuesday because of the country theme this week, right? Okay. So that's why I'm making this very tenuous connection, although not as tenuous as you might think. But the Femmes themselves, why? Why are they such a big influence? They came at me from a friend during high school at a time when I was looking for music that was emotional in a way that other music I listened to wasn't, and weird in a way that other music I was listening to wasn't, and things like that. And again, showed me the things you could do with music that I didn't know at the time. It's hard for me to pinpoint exactly how they've influenced everything I've done, but really there's a chance that, like the Beatles, like Prince, every single song that I have done since my teen years somehow has an influence of those bands, of the Violent Femmes. Things like throwing in a rogue lyric or rogue wording in a way that is unexpected, throwing humor in unexpected ways, even in very serious songs. A vocal delivery that can get whispery, it can get screechy, it can be strident, plaintive, it can be abrasive, it can be annoying, it can be sweet, it can be almost kind of Baptist gospel-y, which is Gordon Daniel's background, is that, but always with emotion and always very personal, unafraid to get negative, even when you're writing pop songs. That's a hallmark of them. It's a hallmark of the Smiths. There are so many songs of mine that I can use as an example, but I've got to go with the song that was named after this song, the third, I believe, track off of Hallowed Ground, yes, called Never Tell. Please look up the Violent Femmes' Never Tell, and please listen to it. It may be, in all of their catalog, my favorite song of theirs. Let's listen to a little bit of it, of course, right during the guitar solo. But yeah, there you go. It's dark. It tells a story. It is kind of very Southern Gothic in a way, and still punk, and still has great melodies and poppy. And the lyrics are some of his best. Gordon's lyrics can be very hit or miss. This was a huge hit for me. So a few years ago, I embarked on an idea of that my next album would contain songs that were named after other famous songs as a tribute to them, but also as sort of a marketing thing. It didn't take shape that way because I just write what I write, but one song survived from that idea, which was a song of mine, also called, after this song, Never Tell. It was on my EP, Distance to Empty, and please, again, listen to the Femmes' Never Tell. Still playing. Yeah, still playing. And listen to my Never Tell. See if you can see the influence or the connection. They don't sound anything like each other. the lyrics don't have anything in common. I don't even say the words "never tell" in my song, but there's a link there. And as there are with, again, most of the, if not all of the songs that I've ever recorded and written. And so and I'd like to know if you hear it or if you don't, or if you like any of the Femmes or any of the music that I'm sharing. Everything that I'm saying here and less is written below. In an alternate text. Please read that. As always, please click the links, click on the Violent Femmes link, and learn more about them. Learn what you don't know about them. Learn why they're worth listening to from beginning to end, and not just their awesome, huge hits that everybody probably knows. Click the link to my song and listen to that. Listen to the rest of Distance to Empty. Listen to whatever else you can find there, and talk about what you're hearing here, because again, conversation and connection, that's my objective. And do you like, is there other punk music that you like? Do you not like punk at all? Do you what is it about this that you like or hate, or songs similar to this? Please like, please share, please subscribe, do all the social media shite. And as always, thank you so much, and I will see you next week.
No one, you never tell someone.